guys, how you doing? It's Henry at Motors and Clothes. Welcome to the third episode, part 3 if you will, of my John Deere LA110 repair. As you know, I got this for free from a subscriber. Engine was claimed to be seized, but it wasn't, sort of. It was hard to turn. And this is what happened in episodes 1 and 2. We figured out that it was the links. One link to the crankshaft was warped from heat or whatever reason. And maybe the journal over here was a little bit pushed out a little bit, swollen, if you will. So we changed the link from my spare one that I had in my shed. And now look, very good, see? Now, it's because this part of the journal of this crankshaft is not exactly fully round, I don't think, which is why there's a little bit of resistance, but this is going to be smooth enough for the starter motor to turn the flywheel and have this work properly. Now, the reason why I didn't use this crankshaft to replace this one, while this one was smooth, right? Now I put the old link on here and you can't even move it. And also this journal here is a little bit damaged with aluminum transfer, and I can see that there is some gouges in here. We couldn't use this anyway. You know why? Take a close look at the keyway. This one, they're both up like this, right? This keyway is here, which is here too, but look at the top keyway for the timing. And even the rear bottom shaft keyway is correct. It's good up to here. But if you look at the keyway for the timing of the flywheel, this keyway is here in that position. So if you put them both in identical positions, I can't use this crankshaft because the timing's off. It's designed for a different flywheel. So we're just gonna put this in. On my non-filming days, I went ahead and cleaned up the surfaces as well as wiped the bucket clean. Cleaned up the surfaces with a wire brush. Same goes with the sump. Cleaned up the surfaces and the insides. So we're ready to assemble this motor. Now, I usually don't call engines motors, but most people do. Doesn't make any sense. I always thought that if it's a gas engine or an electric motor, so motors are electric, gas are engines. Gas engines should not be called motors. However, the name motorcycle, you don't call them engine cycles, right? We'll use motor and engine freely. I also took some time and removed these things here. The shifting bezel and the quadrant and the cup holder. I removed all that stuff and used a grass scraper and scraped off all the loose paint chips. To prepare the surfaces for primer and then the John Deere green color, as well as a John Deere yellow for the deck. My decision to, instead of just stealing the engine and stripping this of parts, it's still a good tractor. Look at all the tires, they hold air and everything. Transmission seems to be fine, and the deck is in good shape. So why not try to get this one going? I have far worse condition tractors in the back that I plan to fix. This is definitely a good candidate for a rebuild. So I'm gonna take the time to paint this, put the engine back on, and hopefully we'll have a good condition LA110. So right now I'm gonna put you on time lapse and I'm gonna put this engine together. There we go. It's all put together again. I was very meticulous about every part that I put in because I have built engines where I would put everything together and go, did I put the tappets in? So tappets are one of the things that I will never forget because to take this damn thing apart again, it's crazy. Also, on the fuel pump type engines, right? The fuel pump shaft that goes into the engine, you can't exactly match it up perfectly with the camshaft. So what you got to do is you got to remove the plate on the bottom, stick the shaft in.
That's what she said.
Manually, take out the gears, find the shaft slot, put it in, then put the gears back, then put the cover back. I've made the mistake of shoving the shaft in there while I put the cover on, the sump cover, and then when you torque them down, it pushes the lid back out again and you have a huge oil leak on the bottom. I've done that twice. I won't do it again. So now I got it going on. So check this out. This has got great compression. I hope it spins okay. We put a lot of assembly lube in there. So technically I have run an engine before for about 5 minutes with no oil in it. With just the assembly lube in it, it protected all the parts. The stuff is very thick and sticky. It feels good. Everything went in perfectly fine. Remember, we could barely turn this before, you know? It is still kind of hard to turn. As you saw, I also changed out the starter motor because when I bench tested, it didn't spin. I think one of the magnets is cracked on the inside. So the magnet is stuck onto the thing and it won't move. You could pry it really hard, but it won't move on its own. So I changed out a starter. So now we got a new starter in here. This one spins by hand. The other one, you couldn't even turn it with your fingers like that. And the gear goes up. Remember to use the plastic gear, bended gear. I know it looks metal, but it isn't. It's plastic. Plastic has to go with this one. As you can see, this dipstick.
You're a dipstick.
Shaft. This dipstick has a nozzle that sticks out. So this is the pulse line for fuel pump type engines, which this is, which also has a voltage regulator. This connects to the harness loom on the tractor. The green one's the stator. Goes in here, converts it to 12.4. This goes back into the engine to charge the battery. Down here is the harness that goes into your, actually I believe this goes like that. Yes, it does. And this is the main harness that goes into the harness loom on the tractor. And it has the black wire. The black wire is for ignition kill to the magneto. The gray wire is for the fuel solenoid. I did install the original carburetor on there, which was probably logged with oil and stuff from all the hydro locking we had with the oil. I just took the fuel solenoid off and tested it, and it was seized. So I moved it around and I got it moved around, and so now it moves freely. I honestly don't think it'll work, but it is moving now, so we will attach it just to see if it works. That's the gray wire here that goes to the fuel solenoid. Fuel solenoid also has another black wire that goes to the body of the engine, which is the ground. So all we have to do is put this engine on, connect this to the loom, connect the starter wire from the solenoid to the starter, and then we'll mount the engine on with the mounting bolts, put on the double stack pulley, put on the muffler, and hopefully it'll go vroom. Of course, it's quite dirty. Take the opportunity to clean her up while you can. It's right here. You have the engine off. All right, here we go. Get busy on the bolt, tighten them up. Okay, connected main wiring harness, connected this to the stator, this to the power, to the voltage regulator. Check the fuse, looks good. Getting ready to put oil in it, almost forgot. I did manage to charge this battery up, and it said 100% healthy, 100% charged. Can you believe it? Couldn't believe it. Anyway, I've been charging that with the sulfator for like 3 days. Got a new starter on here, connected everything. Engine mounting bolts onto a bracket that has a keeper that holds the drive belt in place onto the pulley. Put the double stack pulley on. Put the attachment of the hanger of the front of the deck to the hanger. Got the carburetor on there, throttle linkage, choke linkage. We have the fuel pump hanging, one side going to the dipstick of the pulse, other one going, it's a very questionable fuel filter, to the back of the gas tank. We're not going to be able to obviously prime it enough to have it running, but we'll shoot some stuff in here to test it. Fuel solenoid is on here along with the ground bolt. So everything looks to be in order. I'm going to attach this throttle cable, stick the Z-bend in the hole, rotate it, take it back here, get it in between. Yeah. Push that. Tighten that 5/16. 1.3 quarts Lucas SAE 30 plus conventional. All right, we got oil in there. Choke is open. A lot of fumes. Choking it now. After all this work, what do you guys think? Success, success, rebuilt engine goes vroom. Fantastic. Another successful Henry from Mowers and Blowers engine build. The only thing we built in there is just replace the link, which we think was warped or out of round. Still, nevertheless, to get in there to replace the link on the single bouncer is a lot of work. Of course, it was worth it to take it apart because we did discover that there was a blown head gasket, which we replaced. So replace the head gasket and the link to the single balancer. Everything seems to be good. Actually sounds pretty good. Good morning. So it's the next day. Today we're going to try to get the fuel pump working. It's kind of a pain in the ass if you have a tractor with a fuel pump, because if you don't use it for quite a while, you have to prime that line to get the fuel pumping. Rained last night, so I covered up the hole. I'm not 100% sure this carburetor is clean or not. This is the one that came with the tractor, so it could be completely gummed up and it's not getting fuel. So I'm just going to pull this off, and we're going to spray into here while cranking, have it start up and run. I'll continue to spray so that it's getting fuel to see if the pulse is pumping gas from the gas tank out here. So we want to keep spraying until we see pulsing fuel shooting out. Then it'll get to the carburetor. All right, here we go. Ready? It's not opening. See? That was impeding the movement, so now it opens and closes easily. We'll start it off, choke it, I will run it, and we're going to wait and see if there's any fuel that pumps out of here. Runs with fuel going there for quite a while, and it doesn't seem like it's pulling any fuel into here. So this fuel pump or this fuel filter is clogged. Just remove the fuel filter. It's clear and clean. No debris inside. It's like a new filter, but it wasn't getting any gas. Why was it not getting gas? What do you see here? This middle one here was connected to the fuel filter and into the source gas tank running to the back. The middle one is the pulse line. This middle one is supposed to be connected to that. Whoever worked on this last didn't know what they were doing. And also, as you can see, he has these hose clamps over here, which are not the right ones for lawnmowers, but yet he has them right here, sitting. Same goes with this one. The hose clamps are right there. Why did he put these on? Did he not realize that these were hose clamps? Anyway, we have to switch this one, which is the pulse line, to the middle, and this one, he had them switched. That's why we weren't getting any pulse. As you can see, this fuel pump is a Briggs & Stratton OEM one. However, you can see a lot of oil residue blocking the air vents. You're gonna need air to get the suction, so I gotta clean this off. Just clean that out. Take a look here. It has the arrow going that way. This one here has an arrow going this way, meaning the flow must go this way. P for pulse. Arrow going that way, arrow going that way. If you don't know how to install a fuel pump, now you know. I just hooked up a new fuel line to this because the other one was curved. So this is the line that goes to the gas tank. Cleaned up the filter. As you can see, it's never been used because it was never getting any pulse. Got some proper hose clamps on here, and we're in the correct area. So we're gonna suck on this.
That's what she said.
Just to prime it a little, see if it works. There you go. And we got fuel in the fuel line, and it does suck. What also sucks is sucking fuel into your mouth. And I question how good the fuel is because it's not stinging my mouth. Or am I just immune to it now? We're going to connect this pulse line to the middle now. Now that we hooked that up, I've got the source coming from the pump. Now we're going to see if it shoots out in pulses. And we know the fuel pump works. Ready? How about that? See? Works. It's a lot of fuel, but that's dumping right into the carburetor mouth. So we know that the fuel pump works well, shooting more than enough fuel. Of course, now we probably flooded it because that was just way too much fuel. It has to go into the carburetor for it to be regulated through the needle in the float. We'll just try to crank it, see if it burns it off. Okay, so it means that fuel is in the bowl, but it's not going up the emulsion, which means the carburetor is dirty. Yep, for sure. Gonna have to get another carburetor or clean this one. So I took up the carb and it was dirty, and also they were all plugged, the gaskets were messed up, so I just said the hell with it. I took it apart and I didn't want to mess with it anymore. It had this gasket in it. I literally have like 50 of these. So I just put another one on, took the fuel solenoid out, peeked through it, looked very clean, put it back on, that's it. So let's try this again with the new carb. It's going to take a while for the fuel to pump into the bowl, so we'll just crank it a little bit. Just did idle screw, got her dialed. That's idle. Dialed! How stoked am I? Are you guys stoked? I rebuilt this engine. Can you believe it? Runs great. I'm gonna put the covers on now. Put the cover back on. Put the screws to mount the fuel pump to the cover. Put the hood back on. Attach the lights. Wow. How about that, huh? Starts on idle, lights work. Now I guess we should just go for a ride. Gotta cover that seat up. You'll definitely get gonorrhea. Let's see if the transmission works and the mower deck PTO. That's right. Here at Mowers and Blowers, we push them into the garage and they come out driving. Riding around another free tractor. Rebuilt the engine in terms of taking it apart, replacing the crankshaft to synchro balancer link, changed the head gasket, reassembled, placed back into the tractor. Lights work, fuel pump works, fuel delivery system works, replaced the carburetor, tires hold air, grinded off the paint off the rusted body. So the deck, when the deck is at the lowest level, seems like the belt tension is not good. But then when you raise the deck to the top level, it grips the blades very well. Took a little bit to get it going, but after it started moving around, the belts got a little bit more flexible, gripping the pulleys better, and that's what happens. So I'll have to check out the deck. Might have to remove it, because I probably have to repaint it anyway. Grind off all the yellow paint strips. Steering is a little stiff. I need to oil it. My rebuilt engine is dialed. Sounds great. No hiccups, no hesitation, no surging. I adjusted a few mixture screws and the idle tip. It does work. So how about it, guys? I think the deck needs to be adjusted in different directions so that when you lower the deck, it does grip onto the belt. Just needs some tuning on the deck. I might take that off anyway. But how about it, guys? From picking it up from the subscriber with the seized engine, removing everything, taking the engine apart, putting it back together again. Now it's running, driving, mowing, and the lights work. I'm stoked. All we need now is a little bit of adjustment on the belt, cosmetic stuff, and this one will be finished. Looks like just one more episode. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe.
Subscribe. You're subscribed.
Subscribe.
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 Subscribe. Subscribe to it.
It's me. Hi. We need you to donate $1 or $2.
Hit the subscribe button. It's free.
We'll see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.